at the Grand Canyon Music Festival with 3 members of the Grammy Award-winning Catalyst Quartet. Abby, Paul, Carlos, thank you for being here.
Pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
So I've been sitting here listening to you all's rehearsal this afternoon. I am so excited, okay? We are just moments away from your next concert. I want to talk to you a little bit about your relationship with the festival. How long have you all been regulars here at the Grand Canyon Music Festival?
I would say this is our 13th appearance here. This is one of the very first engagements, contracts, gigs that we ever got as a string quartet.
And we've played a lot of music here because every year we play 2 programs, 2 full programs. So basically everything we've ever played has been played here.
At least once, if not twice. Because when you're somewhere 13 years, 13 seasons, you can have repeats and, encore presentations.
So I understand that at the heart of everything that you all do is a commitment to unity through the creation of music. And there's a special focus on outreach. Can you talk to us about that mission and your relationship with this festival?
A big part of what we do and have done since our very first summer is the Native American Composers Apprentice Project. That is literally one-on-one outreach, communication, sharing of ideas with students in high school and sometimes in elementary and middle school on compositions that they write. And so the whole week before or after our appearances here at the festival, we are traveling all over the reservations, collecting scores and playing for school assemblies, playing the kids' music for their peers, and are really embedded in these really special communities, and it's a great privilege for us because it's a rare opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that one of the number one things that I think all musicians feel that music gives us is an ability to express ourselves in a different way, other than words or talking. And so to be able to share that method of communication with these kids is a really special experience for all of us.
So this year, have you all already seen the compositions and have performed them at some of the schools already?
Yes.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, we did our last visit yesterday before our first concert here at the festival. So we went directly from Tuba City and came here and played a concert.
With the program and the students writing the music, how much time do you all have with those scores before you actually start playing them?
We just read them down.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of nice because we're somewhat part of their creation process because sometimes they're not 100% done. They need to hear things a different way. What kind of feeling were you going for here? So we're a part of that workshopping process. And the thing is, this is brand new music that you've never, ever heard anything like it before, like literally. So completely from scratch, like we get the scores usually that morning, we airdrop them. In the old days, we had hundreds of sheets of paper flying everywhere. You didn't know.
So what is it like for you all being able to work so closely with these students?
It's very powerful. It's very powerful because the really incredibly profound thing is that most people, when they're writing these pieces, are bringing really deep feeling, and their inspiration for writing these works is extremely deep and sometimes tragic. And it's very special when they share their inspiration for these works. And particularly because sometimes we don't even hear their real reason for writing these works until the performance that happens when everyone comes together and they have to get up in front of the audience and tell people about their piece. I mean, there have been times when I'm like weeping before playing because I've never heard these stories before. And like in that moment, it's like they share something so vulnerable and intimate and personal, and then we have to play. But it's profound. It really is.
Yeah. So each of you, I'm just going to go one by one. Could you tell me or share with me just a favorite memory from the 13 years so far?
Surprisingly good.
Oh, we could do that. That's funny. That's a funny one.
So sometimes you never really quite know how these kids are going to react when they hear their pieces played by real people. Obviously, every score writing software has like a playback tool.
Okay.
But it's computer generated, so it doesn't sound very much like when we play it, the real thing. Plus, it doesn't have the capacity to be emotional. So a couple of our kids actually say really funny things. We had one girl say to us after we finished, she's like, "Oh, it was surprisingly good." And then another student was like, "Oh, it sounded way better than the AI." And, you know, it's just funny. You get these little moments where these kids, it's how they're reacting to hearing the live music and hearing the humanness of it, I think, and also the fact that they created that.
Yeah.
Sometimes kids say the darndest things.
Yeah. I think for me, I remember my very first time here. There was a world premiere piece that was being written for us, and it involved a legendary singer. And he invited us up to the Mesa, where people aren't usually allowed to visit. So we went up there to rehearse this sacred music that was based on his compositions, but also on traditional song and chant and rhythm. Just even getting up there, you're elevated, and it's a whole city on top of a mountain in a way, and these stone homes. And we had this beautiful rehearsal with him, and then there happened to be a wedding banquet in his home for somebody in the community in the Mesa, and a wedding parade. And so we got to witness this whole sacred experience, and then we're invited to the banquet to share with them. And I'll never forget it, because I don't know how many people have had that experience. And I knew in that moment, I was like, this is something really special.
One of my favorite memories also involved a collaboration with traditional singing and traditional flute. And
The same singer.
Yeah, but many years later, and we did like a
Yeah.
pretty big project, and then that was just amazing, because learning how to find the equal ground between like our version of notation and the way he thought about phrases and rhythm was just totally two different worlds, but somehow we were able to make it come together. And like I can still say to this day, like the songs still stay with me, they still are inside of me, and like I feel like a sense of pride that I got to experience that.
My final question, I'm gonna go ahead and ask now, because as I mentioned before, we are moments away from your next concert, and I need to let you go get on stage. What's special to you or for you about the Grand Canyon Music Festival? And if you could think of just one or two words that you think embodies what's special for you about this place, if you could share that with us.
I have one word: inspiration. And yeah, I'm gonna go with inspiration.
Okay.
One word, this is really hard.
Because there's so many, it's so
there's
many
so
wonderful
many.
things.
Humanity.
I love that.
I think I would say magnificence and monumental.
Well, you heard it here. Magnificence, monumental, humanity, inspiration. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Pleasure.